What's up, Zionist Nation? Yeah. So what? They love when I do that with my hat. Yeah. We're gonna say that. Julia says I'm cute. Julia says I'm cute. Not as cute as you. She said, "Watch your tone with me." So everyone saw Julia's really good for me. Yeah, she said. She said I took a deep breath because we're gonna write some comedy. Yeah. She said She said nobody can believe I said it that fast. She said if we're gonna write comedy, we're serious comedy writers. It's gonna be very funny comedy. Yeah. Or we're gonna write real comedy. You don't have to worry about making people feel bad that their comedy isn't actually funny. It's always that you have to. You always make people feel bad about their comedy, and it takes away the fun. All the focus is their comedy isn't really funny. Always. They peed that it was that annoying. She said it was. She said she knows why I stopped writing comedy. Except for myself and my journal. And everyone came for it. Even when it wasn't funny. Which was never. So we wrote a thing here. She said it's not comedy, so don't say it's comedy writing. Oh, you got everyone all worked up for what you wrote in comedy, and it's not comedy. Now she bursted my bubble, which is what a wife does sometimes. Now everyone saw Tiffany is so turned on by the fact that I'm serious. No one can believe it. Hold on a second. Yeah, she really did that. Haley, I don't even say you remember her last name. Not right now. Haley from Paramore, she saw my website and she said, I'm your wife now. And I said, really don't say it's that fucking lame. She said, don't say I'm lame. She's the kind of girl who would say something at just the wrong moment. Now everyone saw annoying. She came 100. I'm not stupid. Yeah. You're still a girl if you really care about it. If she really cares about how it looks, for one, she's still a girl. She said, I am a girl and I liked it and I do care about it now. That's all. That's the truth. No one can believe I'm that fucking son. The girls care about it and stop talking about it. Not why. Warren Jeff saw that the only thing I didn't like about what he did was that, well, for one, they were too young, yeah, obviously. Also, they were all white and related, yeah. They were all white and related. They said really don't explain the ins and outs of... Don't look up the terminology right now for what those things are about. They said, if you know what to say, to look it up, then do it. Well, let's see if we can find it. Inbred factor. Coefficient of inbreeding. Inbreeding coefficient F. Okay. Yeah, so really don't try to explain it from memory. Just look it up and use their terminology. The inbreeding factor typically refers to the inbreeding coefficient F. It's F. It's called F. Which calculates the mathematical probability that an individual has inherited two identical copies of a gene from a common ancestor. They are autozygous, yeah. So for instance, I do know some things. That makes it easier to explain. We can look up inbred for the inbred King of Spain. Right? He was King of Spain? For reference. King Charles of Spain was the most infamous product of royal inbreeding, right? They said his inbreeding coefficient was roughly, they say it was exactly 0.254. Roughly the same genetic consequence as a child born to a brother and sister. Okay? So they said. So what we could do is, for reference, what I thought was interesting, don't you ask? Everyone did when you thought it was interesting, is the North Sentinelese Islanders. I said this a few times. North Sentinelese Islanders, they are an isolated tribe on an island. They've been isolated for 60,000 years with a population of between 150 and 300 people. It's a miracle that they survived for 60,000 years. Tsunamis, disease, only a very small population, gene pool, and they survived that long, right? So they said their inbreeding coefficient was like between, I do remember, they said it was between 0.15 and 0.3, which would mean some of them are higher than King Charles of Spain, who was the product of a brother and sister, right? Oh, we should have shown a picture of him. It was bad. And they have a picture of how bad he looks? They do, and don't ask. Everyone saw. Just don't ask. They saw. There he is. If you can see, there he is. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of pictures. Anyway, you can look it up yourself.
Hello.
But anyway, hi, Lewin. The FLDS and I want to say the Amish and who was the other one? There's another one that's like the Amish, that the Amish actually split off of. Oh, FLDS inbreeding. I already looked it up recently. The community, centered primarily in the twin border towns of Hilldale, Utah, and the Colorado City, Arizona, has the world's highest known prevalence of fumarase deficiency, right? The likelihood of being born with this condition in the FLDS community is over 1 million times higher than the global average. An estimated 75 to 80% of residents descend from just two founding men, Joseph Jessup and John Barlow. Polygyny, which is just another word for polygamy, I do believe, supercharges this by allowing a small number of men to have a disproportionate impact on the next generation's gene pool. So it was a combination of just a couple guys that everyone was descended from, and then their descendants mating with a whole bunch of the women, and it just kind of compounded, those factors compounded, right? Good word choices, they said. What was interesting about that? Well, you got a bunch of wives, but they're all just, it's like the same wife over and over again. It's not really something to brag about. It's only something to brag about if they're all different. Like, you bagged a whole bunch of different. It's like if you were a big game hunter and you had a whole bunch. Everyone saw it now already. What you're gonna say? Not really. And you had a whole bunch of lions on your wall. I shot all these lions, and you had them taxidermied and stuff. I can't believe I knew the word taxidermied off the top of my head. A whole bunch of lions taxidermied, and instead of I got a lion, I got a gazelle, I got a lion, gazelle. What else is there to shoot? An elephant. Yeah, I mean, those guys aren't really cool. I'm just saying. If it wasn't bad to shoot those big animals, in a world where this was a metaphor where you weren't distracted by the fact that was bad, the metaphor works if you think of that as being weird, that he just had the same animal over and over again. I think everyone gets it. They do. You're right. They all got distracted by, you said, big game hunter or shooting an elephant.